We're joined by Mr. Robert Clarke, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, of course, a legal practitioner. Thank you for coming again this morning, sir.
Always my pleasure to be here.
All right, so let's start off with this comment by the National Human Rights Commission. We started with that in our opening sequence, and we're talking about what they have said, how they intend to shift the burden of proof from he who alleges and to he who is alleged to have done it, having to prove it. And much as we understand what they're trying to do, so that citizen action, they could gear everybody up to be aware of electoral offenders and guard against it. But how does that work in law? Can they do what they said and how they intend to carry it out?
You see, it's very unfortunate that in Nigeria, we try to think things upside down. The general principle of law, which is enshrined in the Constitution, is that you are presumed innocent until the reverse is proven. What they are now trying to say is that, like under the French rule, you are presumed guilty until you prove yourself innocent. They are somersaulting the general principle of law in Nigeria. But what makes me laugh is that they are relating this to electoral offenses. Electoral offenses arise maybe once in 4 years when elections are held, or if we still have local government elections and state elections. We fail to understand that the politicians are the culprits. They aid, they abet, they use, and whoever is, arrested for malpractice must be an agent of a top politician. Now, you are within a state that is being controlled by a party, and maybe the top wig in the party has used you as an instrument to perpetuate an electoral, and then you are charged by the police or by the commission. Failing to understand that under the law of the state, the Attorney General, who is not an independent person, but who is also a strong member of the political party, has the power to file a nolle prosequi. So if a top wig is being, taken to court for electoral practice, the Attorney General, to save the face of the party, will come in and file a nolle prosequi, and therefore makes nonsense of the law. I think we should follow what is available at the moment. There is enough room in our legal system whereby election malpractices will be taken care of. The fact is that we are not doing it due to pressures from one side or the other. Let us face the fact. If you allow the police to do their work well, anybody who is caught will be taken to the ordinary courts and will be found guilty. But when you are setting up a special tribunal or a special thing, you are just trying to be clever by an inch. Because at the end of the day, it will not work in the system where power still rests with the politician. And if you catch my boy, whom I've sent to do an errand for me, and you take him to court, and I'm in a position to free him, I will do so.
So it means that those who are saying INEC should go ahead and prosecute electoral offenders miss the point. It's the police that should actually do that.
Honestly, under our law, any criminal offense must be investigated by the police. Let me take you, for instance, under the Lagos criminal rules, the new ones. If you are going to file an information, because, in the courts, the police must carry their investigations to the DPP, who will look into it, pass it to the Attorney General, who will look into it, before you are even taken to court. If it's a summary trial, which I believe this should be if it's an electoral offense, the police should be left, when a report is lodged in the police, to carry him straight to the magistrate court and prosecute. So there's no special tribunal that will do the magic.
But for the Attorney General of the state, so it means that no matter how serious the case is, if he enters in nullity, that's the end of it.
That's the end of it. And that's the law. And that power is unfettered. He only owns that power under the Constitution.
Yeah, well, but it sounds like the NHRC, they're not planning to even go to court. What they intend to do possibly is use the strength of their institution, the fact that if the NHRC says anything, they're taken seriously, and they say they're going to convict them in the eyes of Nigerians and, put the burden of proof on the politicians to, say they're committing libel.
In the eyes of Nigeria?
Yes, that's what they say.
Well, what is the punitive aspect of that? There is no punitive aspect.
No politician likes a bad image.
You see, the problem in Nigeria is that the politicians have done many things in the eye of the public that is obnoxious. But nobody takes, cognizance of all these things. Politics has eaten, into every fabric of Nigerian life. The best profession now is to be a politician. You find many lawyers leaving their profession, joining politics. You find many doctors leaving their profession because it is the easiest profession to make money. It is the easiest profession to make money. And I believe until that attitude is changed in Nigeria, we will always go astray. We have to be honest with ourselves.
But what do we do about this perception where, which is also a requirement in our law? I mean, it's tenable. You can enter that knowledge, and that's legal. What do we do about that? Do we expunge it? Because lots of people will think, how can that actually be? Because it makes no sense of a valid case.
Well, there are two devils involved in this. Many civilized countries have split the power of an attorney general from the minister of justice. In Nigeria, we still combine the post of an attorney general. Also, he is the minister of justice. An attorney general should be a professional lawyer to the core. The minister of justice is a politician. When you ask a politician who is a lawyer to become an attorney general, you are, giving him both political powers and legal powers. So that when it comes to the situation that he should put on the cap of a solicitor to determine issues in governance, the political aspect of him takes over the other aspect of his legal training. And he allows politics to becloud, the issue. So it's difficult in a society where you have a politician holding the post of an attorney general to, do things in the correct manner. My idea is that the post should be split. An attorney general who has the power of the Nat'l prosecute should not be a politician. Then if it gets to that stage, when he takes a decision to file a Nat'l prosecute, he must be doing it with the background that it is the law that is following, not politics.